Yeah, from Postpones. Apple TV's Pulled series starring Jessica Chastain was based on the ADL's a researcher tasked with monitoring online hate networks. The show, originally scheduled to launch at the end of September, was postponed. The New York Times reported the decision came after the assassination of Charlie Kirk earlier this month. So here's the funny thing. This show was basically a girl boss, liberal cultist wet dream where she goes online and LARPs and then uncovers plots from white supremacist groups, and then they go and break them up. When the show got canceled, or it's pulled, suspended, who knows, maybe it'll come back, Jessica Chastain then went on Instagram and gave this long tirade about the extremism on both sides. You know, the right did this and the left did this. It's more important than ever that we have a show like this on the air. The reality, this is how they launder culture. They create a movie about the ADL so that people who don't know better think this is what life is like. And I will stress to you guys, I know there's a lot of people watching right now. You're smarter. I get it. That's why you're watching our show, Thought Crime, all these shows. You're a discerning individual. But there are many people in this country that think the world is like movies. Why do you think liberals want to ban silencers? Suppressors, I'm sorry. Because they think they go pew, pew, pew. Because they've never actually seen one.
Right.
They base their worldview off of movies. That's why they make shows like this, to launder this idea of what the ADL is doing.
Well, and Tim, not only that, but, and we still haven't gotten, I'd love to get, by the way, like a media screener of this or something, because they pulled this show, and Andrew, I think you remember, it was like the day after Charlie died. It was one of the first things that we saw, and no one had been talking about this show. There'd been like a meme about it, but nobody, like, certainly, obviously, we weren't in a place to think about shows. Nobody thought there was any connection between that show and Charlie Kirk. But do you remember? Okay, so this is a theory that's gone out since then about this show specifically. Do you remember, and Tim, I know we talked about the other night, the Groyper hoax that was spread by so many on the left, up to and including, in a sense, Jimmy Kimmel, that a Groyper had been the one pulling the trigger to shoot and kill Charlie. Well, so many people were tweeting that out that the theory was that perhaps a screener of the Savant had gone out, and what if that was a plot that had actually been in there, and that's where they all got the idea from.
Just like South Park.
Just like South Park, because they were saying, oh, wait, they're like, it seemed like they were really scared about something in that show.
Bro, do you know about the show Utopia?
Oh, yeah, that's a wild
I know
one.
about it, but
They have to have a disclosure in the beginning saying
this out.
this is not real life events.
There was a show that came out. I was at Amazon, I think, right?
Yes.
And it was about a tech billionaire who was concerned about climate change. He had produced fake meat and was trying to get people to eat it because he wanted to reduce carbon emissions. He secretly worked behind the scenes to create a pandemic scare so that he could get the government to force vaccinations on people, thinking it would vaccinate them from this pandemic, but it sterilized them instead.
Yep. Population control and eugenics.
And when did this come out?
Wait,
a couple years ago.
Why is your
like
T-shirt?
was it 2020? I think.
Why is your T-shirt taped? Given that story.
Well, there's some kids watching, and it might not be the best and the most appropriate thing. But
2020.
I'll tweet about it.
Yo, it came out in
Stop
2020.
it.
So, but that means it was
right before-
produced,
right
so it would have been
before
produced in
COVID.
2019.
Yeah,
like
it
written in
gets better.
18.
When in 2020 was it? Did it
I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
if
to your
have the
point, it
exact-
was produced
September.
in 2019.
September. So it gets better. The premise of the show is all of that, but there is an individual with knowledge of the plot who wrote a comic book. And in the comic book, it reveals the plot. So the idea is if you get a copy of this comic book, Utopia, you will know the plan the elites have for the world. What a ridiculous story. I mean, for us, we just have a TV show on Amazon about elites.
Yeah, we just
who
live
have a
this in
fake
real life.
Totally not connected. Totally not connected to anything at all that's going on in the world.
But to go to the back to the topic of the SPLC, because I think it's important to talk about. A couple years ago, there was a terrorist-inspired event that a leftist lunatic used SPLC information in order to shoot up the Family Research Council.
Floyd
a
Lee
lot of people
Corkins.
forget that they not only put people on hit lists, but they were the inspiration for a terrorist attack before. So what Elon Musk is talking about right now is of critical key importance. Kash Patel needs to get on this right now. He needs to provide disclosures. He needs to provide us information, what's happening behind the scenes, what was really going on, and why was federal police space hijacked by these leftist woke institutions that literally put us on hit list. I was there since 2010, and I remember seeing this terrorist attack, and I'm like, I'm on that list that this lunatic looked at. That happened in 2012, and I'm like, they're literally attacking me. And I tried to reach out, and they actually contacted me, and they're like, we'll give you the benefit of that. Let me interview you. So I recorded the interview with the SPLC. I was like, you guys don't understand. We're raising money. We're working with first responders. We're working with family members. We're working with rescue workers, survivors. And I laid it all out. They took my quotes out of context and then wrote an article talking about how I was a violent extremist. When I never even said any of those things I did, lied and slandered me, and then put me on this target list that radicals use to kill people.
Jack, this reminds me of, sorry, Tim, but this reminds me of, in one instance, tried to work in good faith with
with
a
talk
certain
about that?
SPLC person.
Gosh.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
but I just said, Jack, let me see, because they were coming after Jack, and I was like, I'm gonna just let me see, because actually I looked at his questions, like there's really
because they were reaching out to Turning
obvious,
Point for like an official blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, no, and there was obvious explanations for the questions he was asking. We built timelines. I explained all this stuff, and I spent a lot of time.
We like explained the anatomy of a meme and like put the timeline out that showed very clearly.
Oh, is this the OK hand symbol or something?
It was along those lines, yeah.
So I tried to do it, and then the thing came out, and it was just exactly what you said. It was a complete smear job, hit job, and
let me tell you guys a story. So in 2018, an article was put out by the SPLC, which included me. It was written about a bunch of people who are, I guess you'd call them lefties, progressives, and it was called The Multipolar Spin: How Fascists Operationalize Left-Wing Resentment. What they were basically saying was, here's a spattering of people who are on the left, but they're secretly fascists. I was included in this. I think Max Blumenthal was included in this. And here's the best part. They called me alt-right. I'm mixed race, as everyone knows. And they said that I had gone to Iran for a Holocaust deniers conference.
Tim, why did you do that? You shouldn't do that.
I've never been to Iran in my life.
really tone deaf.
And their source
Read the room, Tim. Read the room.
An archive of at the time, the website had been deleted. It was some blog in Iran from some Holocaust denier who wrote a thing claiming I had been to Iran, which was made up. So we actually filed a lawsuit against them. They issued an apology and took it down, because my challenge to them was, if you want to claim that I'm an alt-right guy who went to Iran for a Holocaust deniers conference, I have no problem having you go to court and tell a judge your source is a conspiracy theory website from Iran that was deleted. I want that on the record, and then we'll run. Well, so they were like, okay, we're taking it down. Not to mention, when they went after Max Blumenthal, he was like, I'm going to call my dad, and they were like, we'll delete it. I'm half kidding. I don't know exactly how that went down.
They went after.
I was sitting here
they went after.
Okay. All right, that's our line change. I'm gonna
do hot swap. Hot swap.
Blake's
all right, time for the hot swap. All right, hot swap. Blake is coming in. Blake is coming in. He's coming in hot. He's coming in hot.
Appropriate with that sombrero.
Here we go.
And a mustache and beard. Okay, it's all you, brother.
Wait, Blake, why do you have that crazy mustache on? That crazy fake mustache? We can't talk yet. Dios mío! Ay caramba! Oh no! Why are we all talking like this for some strange reason?
Oh, because I ordered guac for the office and we got really excited.
Wait, you ate guac? You didn't share?
Well, you didn't have any. Everybody was eating it.
No, I was like getting the show ready. I was looking at tweets. Elon's like pulling me up.
I was sitting back. I was like, hey guys, instead of doing the show like normal, make Jack do the work. Let's eat guacamole.
He guacked me. He just guacked me on my own show.
When they delivered the guac, they just asked if we play the music.
Did you get the guac?
I think I did. Yeah, I got guac. But the thing is, I don't like guac, so I kind of just let it sit there and turn like brown or whatever happens.
No, I can't have that. I can't have that. So Blake, we've been talking about the SPLC. We were talking about it earlier today. Just get your take on this. What do you think about the fact that Elon Musk has just picked up the baseball bat and is just like beating down the poverty palace, which, by the way, that's Tim, do you know that's what they call the SPLC's headquarters, the poverty palace?
What?
Yeah, we should, by the way, guys, we've got to get a picture up of, I should have said this before, I was not working very hard in prep. We have got to get a picture of the SPLC's headquarters. It's literally a glass palace. So Blake, your thoughts?
They live
on
in a
this?
giant glass house.
Yes.
And yet they throw stones.
They sure do.
So many
Isn't
stones.
it funny the names they choose for these organizations, though? The Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah.
It makes people think that it's like a liberal welfare organization that does legal work for hungry
I'll
children.
tell you what it's supposed to do. It's exactly named so that people will think that it is like a 50s, 60s era like civil rights organization. Like the what was MLK's group was like Southern Christian Leadership.
Yeah, it's a very
something
similar name, yeah.
So they're clearly evoking that. Yeah, I think it was founded in 1970 or so, and then it just immediately began its direct mail campaigns to scam neurotic housewives out of their money.
We had an event in Jersey several years ago that it was called, I forgot what it was called, but it was called something, I forgot the name of it, but the subheader was Ending Violence, Racism, and Authoritarianism. And Daryl Davis was our headline speaker. And literally it was, I guess I would liken it to a centrist type, debate on morals. Antifa called it a white supremacist event and threatened to burn the theater down. And I'm like, it's literally called Ending Racism, Violence, and Authoritarianism. They were like, yeah, we don't care.
And Blake, so you mentioned the scamming. There have been liberals who have. Oh gosh, here's the picture. Tim, look at this. This is their headquarters.
Ugh.
The Poverty Palace.
It looks like you could hit a button and it would like transform into something that does battle
So
with Optimus Prime.
their endowment currently, according to their 2024 release, is almost $900 billion. Excuse me, $900 million.
That's nuts.
$900 million.
900 billion. That'd be like
No.
Norway
I
sovereign wealth
was
fund
thinking in my head,
levels.
it's almost $1 billion. It's almost $1 billion. So just under $1 billion they've raised through these scams. And there have been liberals and leftists and even communists, like the people over at Current Affair, that have come out and said, yeah, this is obviously a scam. Former employees have come out. It's obviously a scam. What they're doing is they're claiming that they're doing all this work to fight the hate, when essentially all they're doing is targeting people for hate and then shaking down again like old liberals for money. They also, Tim, you'll appreciate this, they take that money and a bunch of it they'll send tens of millions, I think 30 million according to Tyler O'Neill over at Daily Signal, is sent down to the Cayman Islands for tax purposes as a tax haven right now. So the amount of
very
fraud,
southern poverty.
yeah, very southern, extremely southern in the Gulf of America. So when you look at this, it's so ripe, not just for, by the way, federal investigation for wire fraud and mail fraud, because anything you do by mail is of course federal, but Alabama, it is the reddest of the red states, and yet they sit right there in Montgomery, Alabama, in their poverty palace, and no one does anything. Wait a minute! Oh my gosh! So, look, guys, do you see that? So on the side up here, there we have MSNBC playing. You guys can't see it. MSNBC is literally running an SPLC ad right now. That's MSNBC up in the top right.
Wow.
There's the music. As we're talking about this.
And help fight hate, they say.
Fight hate, and they've got T-shirts. They're advocating for change.
Oh, there's
blah, 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 blah. And they're talking about now they got
got
That
FBI
only looks like one of those
feds.
clips that people think is just feds faking it.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
and
You know what's really interesting is that all of the good
we did
people,
not play. That's actually a live MSNBC.
Did you
feed
notice
right
that in the
now.
commercial, all of the good people were black?
Yes, of course.
Like there was a lawyer who was black, the judge was black, the guy advertising was black. Then it showed the Patriot Front, a bunch of white guys in masks. Then it showed a bunch of black protesters. Is that who they're trying to fundraise off of, I guess?
Oh,
mean,
no,
it's-
they're definitely not fundraising.
No,
off of them,
Tim,
no.
are you drawing some connection there? No, there's no way. It's not possible. That's so crazy. We did not. So, yeah, the people can't see it because it's off screen, but we have a video wall here that just shows pretty much all
Is
the
it?
cable news channels. And the one that was playing, so we've got like CNN, we got MSNBC, of course, we've got RAV.
This next commercial is worse. It's mushroom coffee.
Ew. I will not drink
smiles.
the mushroom
Luke, I
coffee.
drink that.
I will not drink the mushroom coffee.
That is, I like mushrooms, but not in that way.
Blake, you do shrooms?
No,
No, Ian's coming later.
Ian
I
will
think.
be
Yeah.
here sadly.
Speaking of mushrooms,
He'll pop up like a mushroom.
wait, is he actually coming? That is kind of a good segue. Oh, he's here. Wait, you gotta talk to the mic. You gotta talk to the mic.
Mexican culture, and I do love suicide.
I know you do. I know you do. I know you do. Do we want to swap? Are we hot swapping?
them.
Swap. Someone's just like, Ian, go. They're talking about
we already
suicide.
talked-
We'll swap in an hour out. So
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'll call you
Okay.
up. I'll call you up.
Yeah, you know, we did talk about mushrooms, so
Stay in the moment.
thank you, Ian. But no, it's. I mean, that's so crazy. This is how big they are. That MSNBC is just running this stuff all the time. So and by the way, so Blake, talk to me about the current demographic of an MSNBC primetime viewer that they're trying to target.
Okay, so the current demographic of an MSNBC primetime viewer, I'd say median viewer is probably 75 years old,
At least.
generously. It's very aged people who watch these left-wing cable primetime shows, and they basically need to constantly bombard them with fear porn. It's quite funny. Like if you read the direct mailers too that SPLC does, it's just very funny because they're basically trying to find rich or upper middle class housewives and being like, hey, remember the Holocaust? It's about to happen again if you don't donate to the SPLC's Poverty Palace. And, they really whip them up. It's so comical. They're always like, oh, this is a barn burner. This is a record setter in hate. And there's more hate groups than ever.
Right, and this is why they've and Tim, this is why they have to expand the aperture, because there's a supply and demand issue to the point where Charlie Kirk, right, a guy who's never raised a hand in anger, who just wants to have dialogue and campus debate, gets ensnared in it.
Why is it so easy to be evil? This stuff doesn't work on the right. If we made something comparable and we called it
rules.
the Northern elitist, law directive.
Yeah, if we
That's
were
not a
saying
good
Code
name.
Pink were a bunch of crazy radicals, and saying that they're extremists that are going to
They
hurt
are kinda
people.
crazy.
Well, whatever. They're still entitled to their opinion, and they're mostly
Yes, of course, of
nonviolent,
course.
and they do things pretty peacefully. And sometimes I agree with them. Actually, sometimes I absolutely disagree with them. But there isn't an
They're generally
effort to
anti-war
try to. They're anti-war people. If there was an effort to label them terrorists, I mean, that would be a little bit extreme. That would be kind of crazy.
I'm just saying the right doesn't have anything comparable where we create a fake organization with a fake name and then trick people into giving over tons of money.
Because that's not how the right operates.
Is it being
right?
evil
The
doesn't
right,
work on the
right
right?
doesn't just sit there and go, oh my gosh. Like we don't make these crazy comparisons and say you remembered this thing from 85 years ago. It's about to happen again if you don't give us money right now. Like you can go and look at again. So I mean, Turning Point USA, right? Obviously we're here. We've got the shirt on. Charlie's the leader. Go look at a Turning Point fundraising drive. It's like, we're going to teach people about the Constitution, and we're going to talk about the Bible and talk about how great America is.
And let you come and have a debate in person. Everyone can hear what's going on. The video will be
debate
up
series
later.
is, of course.
Yeah.
That was the centerpiece of everything that Charlie did.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.